All right. Welcome back to the No Leon County podcast. This is our weekly wrap up for the week of January 29th. We had Commissioner's Court today and a few other things. So on the show today, we have Ann McCausland and her cousin Daniel. And I guess let's talk about what happened this week. So we had Commissioner's Court, which got rescheduled. It was normally Monday, should have been the 26th. They had to reschedule due to all the bad weather and while we were all frozen at home for Thursday. So I guess let's see here.
Still waiting on Secretary of State for the 501.
Oh, yeah.
Checking it daily for updates.
Okay, that's good. I forgot.
And still waiting to hear back from the Attorney General about the PI.
Yeah, that's another hot topic. So
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so today in court, we had like two or three items that we were interested in on the agenda. So we can start with the resolution related to the data center in Marquez. So we had the resolution on the agenda, and yes. What happened? I wasn't thrilled.
There was no action.
Yeah. So that was unfortunate. I was not super thrilled about that.
No, not super thrilled at all. Even though Judge Ryder made a motion for the resolution, none of the other commissioners would second it.
Right. He asked for a second twice.
Yep.
And nobody would do it.
Yeah, it was a very quiet, like looking around, anybody, but nope.
Yeah.
Right. And they were all looking down.
Yeah.
Yep. Nobody would make eye contact.
So we had a no action. What does no action mean for folks that don't know? So does this mean it's going to be on the agenda next time, or
no action basically means they're placating us. They acted like they were going to do something, but then they didn't. But they can say, "Oh, hey, we voted on it. No action." It won't be on the agenda next week. If they would have tabled it, it would stay on the agenda until they actually voted on it. But a no action, they can bring it up again at a later date, but will have to be put on the agenda again.
So what was the reasoning? They gave us, they said they don't want to pass a resolution until, until we have the 391 who makes a recommendation.
And then at one point they said it's an either or. It's either a resolution opposing the data center or it's a resolution for the 391 committee.
Yep. I didn't understand the either or.
Yeah, I wasn't. Is that what the either or even meant? Because I was thinking the either or meant that we were either going to have a 391 that made a recommendation, or they were going to pass a resolution against it, and then they wouldn't change a resolution based on what. So I wasn't even clear. I don't even know what the either or meant.
Or, the way I understood it was either we can have the 391 committee, or you can have the resolution. We're not going to vote for both.
Yeah, I don't know. We probably should have pushed for clarification on what the either or meant, but it seemed like there was a lot of point of order if we were talking out of order.
Yes, point of order.
Yeah, this time instead of last time, which, most of these courts, they go that way. I was actually surprised.
You're not telling the truth and somebody calls you out on it, the easiest way to shut them up is to say point of order.
Yeah, but I was really surprised that, other meetings weren't more. I was really surprised that other meetings didn't have more of that going on, because they've been pretty loud and rowdy in the past. So many people with them being there. So what else did we have go on? So then we had a resolution for a 391 planning committee, even though the last meeting we had a what was it?
It was a motion.
A motion.
Motion.
Okay. So we had a motion passed last time for a 391, and this time there was a resolution passed.
A resolution.
So now we still need a what is it, a MOU formed?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we need
the MOU has to be written
By the county attorney.
Right, and I had talked to Judge Osborne, and he said that he really felt like Madison County would be all for it, but he needed the official interlocal agreement. And so he said that he just wanted to have something concrete that he could take to his commissioners. And that way you don't just go and say, hey, are we interested in this? Because then you still have to come back and vote on it. So as soon as he gets that interlocal agreement from our county attorney, then he can put it on the agenda and they can get a vote for it.
Which
what is the
it sets us back a whole nother 2 weeks now because they meet on Tuesdays, the day after our commissioners meeting.
Right.
So that sets us back a whole nother 2 weeks when we could have been 2 weeks ahead.
What does MOU even stand for? Is that, I don't remember what the MOU, what those letters stand for. I think the U is understanding. Gosh. I think it's the O and the U is of understanding, but I don't remember what the M is for. Is it a memorandum of understanding or something like that?
Memorandum of understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the next thing we need, and that's on the county attorney to finish drafting that up. I think he said he was pretty close to having that complete, and so hopefully he'll get that knocked out pretty soon and get it over to Madison. And then I think there was also some talk about reaching out to Robertson County as well, because I think they're in our COG. And that way we would have three people or three counties involved in it. So
three's better than two.
Right. Progress is being made. It's certainly not happening as fast
slow.
As we want it to happen, but at least progress is being made.
So Keith will have to draft the MOU. At the next commissioner's court, they'll have to vote on approving the MOU, and then they can send it to Madison County that afternoon if they do, but it may be too late to get it put on their agenda for the next day.
Yeah.
I would think maybe if Judge Osborne knows that it's coming, he could go ahead and have it on the agenda and then just get the document.
Yeah, maybe they've even got it on their agenda and they just table, like discuss possible things.
If they don't have it yet.
Yeah, maybe. Right. So we can always hope that's what's going on. So it'll get through a little faster. So the next thing was I spoke and talked about the fire code and safety standards. So that was, I'll post a copy of what I read. And then we also did record the meeting. And so I've got to finish editing that that video because it's 3.5 some odd hours long and there's about 30 minutes worth of relevant stuff in it. So I need to cut all the other stuff out, and then I'll get that published. But I'll post my speech along with it. And basically what I did was found out about those battery storage systems that are going in all over the place. And, we're looking at several of them here in Leon County. And so I found in Zandt County and Gillespie County and other places as well, but those two specifically have they're small counties. Gillespie is definitely the largest of them because it's so close to San Antonio. I think that's where Bernie is in Gillespie County, I believe. So, but anyway, they're using the National Fire Code to say, hey, look, if you're coming in here, you're going to have to follow the fire standards because here in Leon County and in Van Zandt as well, they're primarily served by volunteers.
Volunteer fire departments.
Yes, that's correct. And so, these volunteers, they're great at handling the kind of stuff that happens in small rural communities. I mean, that's what they're set up for. That's what they've trained for. That's what their equipment is designed to handle. What they're not designed to handle and not trained to handle and not even manned to handle is these giant battery fires and industrial fires at these big electrical places.
He made the comment at a previous commissioners court meeting, with a pilot program, we might get a new fire truck, but riding in a new type fire truck to a fire we can't put out doesn't,
Right. And,
it doesn't serve the community or a purpose.
Right. And to be frank, I mean, it's not fair to use the pilot money to pay for something like that. Right. Like we would be using the taxes to buy something to handle something that this private. Yeah. If they're going to create. Yes, they created the risk. Why should the taxpayer have to take the tax dollar and pay for, making their stuff safer? Like that should just be something they come to our county with and say, look, we are a good fit for your county. We're here. We're going to take care of it. We're going to make sure that we've got staff on hand to handle this. And, aside from all the taxes, we're going to be upgrading all y'all's stuff to handle, so you can come out here and help if there is a problem and things like that.
Training and everything.
Right. And I mean, that's something.
If you get a big fire, you need a full-time fire department there.
Absolutely. Right.
I mean, volunteer fire department where 6 of them may be working shift work at HLMP or Nucor or something. Yeah. I mean, you need a full-time.
Yes.
Not paid for by the county.
Right.
Paid for by the company.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what is it with, like, they have to do the National Fire Code, because is it like it's less than 100,000 in the county, or what's that number?
I think a lot of it just comes down to the fact that if you don't have a fire code established locally, it goes up to like the state level. And in 2023, the state adopted the National Fire Code as its minimum requirement. And gotcha. So that's kind of where that falls, because we're such a small place. We don't have, we didn't have anything other than Nucor out here as far as like big industry goes. So we didn't have any kind of super fire stuff going on, Yeah. And so we don't have a fire code. And so ours would default to the state, and then the state defaults to the national. So that would be, and that's all we're asking. Hey, like, force these folks to follow that national thing. I think it's a responsible thing to do, but I think the commissioners listened and they heard it. I don't think they're familiar with their ability to enforce that, and so I think they're going to have to do some looking on their end to figure out what's possible, for them to do. So we did provide the examples of Gillespie County and Van Zandt, so we're hoping that maybe they'll reach out and see how those folks are going about it, because we're just asking for safety. That like, if those things are going to come, we need that level of protection for the residents and the first responders and things like that. So, and it just seems like that would be your basic. I
know that we kind of gripe a lot, but I'd like to give kudos to TJ and Judge Ryder for the letters that they wrote and sent to the governors and senators and state reps. That.
Oh yeah, the one TJ read.
TJ's was really good.
Yeah, I liked his a lot.
Really good.
Yep. He's supposed to be providing a copy of that letter, and so we'll get that posted online so you can read it and see what he had to say, because it was really well and really, really well written, and he's sending it to the governor and to the senators and Congress people, and
he's sending it to TxDOT too, because he knows that our roads 1146 can't handle it. Questioning what TxDOT's plans for FM 1146, FM 1512, FM 1469, because that's out of the county's range. They don't handle those FM roads. That's a TxDOT problem.
Correct.
And
there's no shoulders on these little two-lane farm and market roads.
No shoulders at all.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of foresight in that, predicting problems that could be coming down the pipe.
Yeah. I was really glad to hear that letter. So, and then Judge Ryder had a similar letter, which we do have. He gave me a copy of that today, so I got that scanned in, and we'll be posting that online.
And it went to the governor and Angela Schwertner and everybody's office.
Right. Yeah. And he even mentioned that he's headed to Washington, D.C. to try and head up there and speak with representatives in person about the issue. So I know that it does seem like we harp on these guys a lot, but it's I think they are listening. I think they are trying to do what they can, and they're open to figuring out how to help. So
and doing the right thing for the community
just
and the
like
county.
just like they're doing, it's important for all of us, anyone listening, like you need to be reaching out to those people who are higher up, because that's where your county government, they do have control, but they have limited control. And so we've got to reach out to Angela Orr, Ted Cruz, Abbott. We've got to start reaching out to all of those people if you haven't already, because they need to know how we feel just as much as our county officials have already found out how we feel.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, because, at the end of the day, what we would ultimately, what I would like anyway, is the kind of power that, a lot of the cities have, and not necessarily to, wrench down on zoning restrictions so much, but this is a lot different than most other kind of construction that rolls in. I mean, this will alter the state of that land forever, like forever. Yeah. And it's big and it's ugly, and
if it's burned up in 10 years, it'll be a brownfield development place instead of a greenfield.
That's right. I mean, I would like the same kind of say that we get out of nuclear, right? Like somebody can't just come in and put in a nuclear waste storage facility right next to your property. They can't, right? And I would like, at least that same level of control to be able to say, look, if we want a data center or, some other big kind of industrial facility like that here, I'd like to be able to pick an area in the county where, it would best serve, because, we've had folks from the school board come out and say, hey, if this goes in here, the school isn't even going to benefit because of us being a Chapter 41 school. 41. And,
but you know what? I was talking to someone the other day, and they had a really good point. They said, I don't know, that may be very strategically placed, because Chapter 41, the state's already recapturing money. They're already recapturing tax dollars. And that money that they recapture from school districts from Chapter 41, it goes into the state's general fund. I mean, it could go to pay for the governor's ball. I mean, you can spend that money however.
When it gets recaptured, it goes into the general education fund, not the general state fund.
Oh, it does?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So that may be something that's changed. But if you put it into a Chapter 41 school district, then that's money that's not going to go to that school district. It's additional money that's going to be able to be recaptured by the state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that might
distributed the way they see fit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And I would just like to have some more say in like creating an area in the county, right, that says, hey, if you want to bring that in, okay, like let's look at this other part of the county that doesn't have the money. Their school isn't a Chapter 41. They would greatly benefit from having that industry over there and having the tax dollars roll in and things like that. So, and they're
Salt Dome in Keachai.
What's that?
The Salt Dome in Keachai.
Oh, okay.
where they tried to store nuclear waste in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think the last thing, one of the last things is meeting attendance today. I was pretty bummed out.
Yeah.
Right. It looked like there weren't even as many county officials, county people there.
There wasn't. There was only 2 people in the front row.
Right. Yeah. That row is usually pretty full. So.
Yeah.
People missing a day of work on Monday because of the weather, I think, couldn't afford to miss half a day to come to.
And some people probably had to take off Tuesday.
Yes.
The county offices would have been open, but if you have kids who are in school, well, schools were closed. So you had to use a day to keep kids. So. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully the next meeting will have a little bit better attendance. We need to try and stay engaged because
I keep telling people, your voice matters.
Yes.
Show up and speak. Ask questions. Don't. I mean, it's great that you're there, but let your voice be heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ask questions. If you're for data centers, show up and tell us.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to lynch you or get pitchforks.
No, I'm definitely going to have questions for you, but I'm a pretty nice guy. I just want to understand your side. And then I'll explain my side, and we may or may not agree at the end, but that'll be the end of it. So, but yeah, I mean, you don't even have to speak long. You don't have to have a speech prepared. You can just go up there and take a 30 seconds or whatever and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm a taxpayer, I live here in Leon County, and I'm against this thing, and I don't have anything else to say, but I just want you to know.
Is your voice.
Right, exactly. Just let it be heard. So
they're probably tired of hearing ours and need to hear some different ones.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. That is for sure. So I think that about does that gets us to the end. We do have some stuff coming up next week. So
pretty exciting next week.
Yeah.
Kind of pumped about that.
Yeah. We will probably have a show, an extra show. So what I'm trying to do is a weekly wrap up every week. That way we've at least got one show. We try and record those on Thursdays and put them out on Fridays. And so some of these other shows that we will record, those are going to just happen whenever we can make schedules work for the three of us, and then whoever it is will be interviewing. The next one the next one coming up, we've got another data center expert that's working with Rob Altman. What is her name? Is
Krisha Tracy.
Krisha Tracy. She's really bright. We spent some time on Zoom with her the other day, just kind of talking, and she is deeply involved in the data center world and helping secure power for some of these gigantic facilities. And so she's a good one. That's going to be a good interview. Hopefully we're going to be able to get that lined up. And she was
pivotal in helping the College Station data center movement too.
Yeah.
Her knowledge helped a lot, and she's probably forgotten more about data centers than I've learned in the past 3 months. I mean, she's jam up.
Yeah. She's a good person to interview and talk with. So we are looking to have her on sometime next week.
Yes.
So as soon as we get that one recorded, we'll get that out for everybody to check out, and then we've also got a handful of the congressional candidates that are running for District 10.
Right.
Like Jessica.
Yeah, just like Jessica. We'll probably be asking them almost verbatim questions that we asked her, just so it'll be a fair interview for everybody to see where all of those people stand on the same questions and stuff, and get their feedback and things like that. So
I look forward for everybody to talk to these guys like we do and hear their perspective and just learn,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I normally like to steer away from politics personally, but this is really important. These are really important issues, and this is a new seat that's opened, and we really need to get out and vote for someone that's going to represent us in the best way possible. The last thing we want is
big tech.
Right. The last thing we want is big tech donors, a big tech back donor, or whatever candidate.
Got $500,000 today from Big Tech PAC.
Yeah, I can't imagine whose interests he would be looking out for.
It's not rural Central Texas.
Right. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. We're going to continue sharing updates as we have them, and when we know about meetings, we'll put stuff out. And so thanks for everybody to staying engaged and staying informed, and thank you.
Yep. Come join us at the next Commissioner's Court.
Absolutely.
Next Commissioner's Court. And if y'all have questions, reach out. Ask me, Mike, and anybody. Yep. Ask the Facebook page. Ask. The only way we learned is by asking questions.
Yep.
Yeah. And I believe the next one is February the what?
I don't think they've posted a thing for it yet, so I'm not sure.
February, I think it's 2 weeks from
Monday.
It
should be
is it the 10th?
The 10th.
Yes.
No, the 9th.
Yeah, the 9th. February.
Yeah,
9th.
February 9th.
Right.
So, all right. Well, thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye,
All
all.
right. Bye.